One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Paint Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lie sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of war. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. There's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
Backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade your line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bought it. UPK shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. More than you, bitch. Shop on shit, I'm about it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All they nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for 'em and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorrow and I show her. She could never get a piece home. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy fuck nigga over that bitch muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. You squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why this nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UBK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I was talking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone while I'm riding strap on my chrome. Always sip on my own. Don't need you all in my zone. Spend so much time alone.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam. I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't be too dirty, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son. Yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, we live. Shalom, y'all about to be outside to the brothers, y'all tomorrow about to be outside for the sisters. We are the Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Established in 1969, 1 West on the 25th Street Hall in New York. We are not affiliated with any other organization. We're led by Commander Johnny Hanna. Pay your tithe. That's right. And get ready for the Lord's 57th annual Passover in Houston, Texas. This is April 4th. April 4th is going to be a Passover day. So that's going to be on a Saturday, April 4th. So get your travel arrangements locked in, man. Get your hotel arrangements locked in. I believe the main hotel right now is going to be at the Wyndham. Last time we had we had a great experience on the ranch. I think it might be at the same location. I haven't heard. So let me not get too far with it. Get your money saved up, get your days off of work, set up already in advance so that they ain't got no reasons to harass you. Any more reasons, I should say. What else? So Passover is going to be on the 4th. So, we're going to have events all happening prior to. So, get there, Thursday or something. Get there Wednesday, Thursday. Stay until Monday or Tuesday. Hang out for a little bit. That way, if you're able to. This way it's not as congested and you ain't got to rush as much. Shout out to South Dakota in the building. We all got Rapid City. All right, most sign prayers. So now we're going to complete Psalms 121, verses 5, 6, 7, and 8. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Of course, you can feel free to ask in the chat. Come off mic. Otherwise, we are going to get some 1 through 4 in the paleo. That's not what I said. But you did that. Yeah, so right now I just wanted 1 through 4, but then I wanted it set up too with the English phonetic and then the breakdown, the translation. You did all that. All right, we'll check it out in a second. All right, let's jump right to this. Again, everybody's penmanship is going to be a little bit different. So long as we're all relatively in the same ballpark. At least what we're aiming for. So on verse 5. I'll see how that looks. We are never going to escape this glare. It's lucky. I don't know how to get around that. Yeah, Salaki, we can't turn down the light anymore either. Let me try a different marker. See if we can't get that to show up a little bit better. Sometimes it even kind of goes in and out of sharpness depending on if I'm standing. Like it kind of zooms in on its own, but I don't think we're going to get that kind of feedback tonight. So let me just try a different color real quick. Or at least a bolder marker. This one's just not as solid. If that's any better. Kind of. All right, so like I don't think we're gonna be able to get around the glare. I'll just have to use this different marker. Let me write this over real quick. Maybe that's just my excuse for writing it over because I think the first time looked sloppy. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. See it? All right, that's better. All right. It looks like the beginning might be a little blocked, but just in case, this is the Most High's name. It's the same as this over here. So this one, it's got a bit of a shine on it from the lighting, but if that is in the way, it's the same thing over here. Here. And this is going to be something important that you're going to want to be able to recognize right away. The Most High's name, your nation, your tribe. Those should be at least kind of three things that stick out to you in the scriptures when you're reading. The Most High's name, your nation, Israel, Yahshua, and then whatever tribe you're from. So a party. And really, I mean, get familiar with all the tribes. You know, we're not tribalists like that, so I'm not just that shouldn't be the only thing that comes to mind when you think about yourself as an Israelite and identifying, the characters, because we all sharing this together. So the Most High's name, your nation, the tribes. Let's start there, and then And because our vocabulary, it's made up off of, really it's practicality. Benjamin, for example, Banyam Young, his name is the son of the right. It's not, something ambiguous, encoded. It's not something poetic and artistic and all that shit. It's son of the right. That's your name. Ban Yam Yan. Yam Yan is right. Ban is son. So son, now the straightforward English translation of that would just be son, right. But the concept behind it is that, the son of the right. And, Israel being on the right hand of the Most High too. That will help you get familiar with other words too, and other concepts of the phrases, the other characters. And it'll help you identify whole words with other words. You'll see the relation between the characters, the different ones that look alike but have structural differences to them. It's brings through the whole thing. So we got the Most High's name, which is pronounced Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Yahoo, not Yoah. I've seen a lot of different variations. According to the scholars in the UPK, Yahweh. And I'll trust them over anybody else that's out there. Shamaka. Yahweh. Kazalka. Yeah. Young. Let's take a look at this funky translation. I think this is one of the ones that kind of get weird too when you're trying to linearly go from the Hebrew to the English. One verse. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see if you can't see it on here. You got the blue letter on that too, right? Yeah. So show this part, and then show this part. So you're just going right to the search box. Psalms 121, verse 5. Well, just Psalms 121. If you can pick through it. Let's open up the toolbar, verse 5. Yeah. So again, in the Blue Letter Bible, I like how they have different options for layout features. But if you look at the verse itself, just when you open up the toolbar and it lays the verse down, you'll see it in this order. In the Hebrew, this is how it would have been presented. But when they're translating it in English, the Hebrew gets switched around in order for the English to come in sequential order. So let's see how this one got boxed. It's the Most High. Thy keeper. So last week we had gone over Shamar a little bit. And how it has a lot of different applications. So depending on the context of the word, depends on how it's going to get used. So again, it's usually a concept that it's being used with. So in this case,
Like sir.
keeping. Okay.
South Dakota says, like sir, what is the bottom right again?
Bottom right. Yum yum ka. Yum yum ka. Yum yum ka. And everybody's pronunciation might be a little bit different too. Listen, if you got a down south country accent, use that. You ain't got to pronounce this all like cookie cutter. If you got a Spanish accent, if you got a Creole accent, apply it. You ain't got to straighten it up for us. But yum yum. Or it's talking about this side. I guess depending on which right you're talking about. Tazalka. Tazal ka. Tazal ka. That's the Most High, thy keeper. The Most High is kind of for short. Tazalka, thy shade. So now what we were just saying about Benjamin, son of the right, Ban Yum Yun, South Dakota or Trooper, what do you think this word is going to translate into? Ban Yum Yun, son of the right. Yum Yum Ka. And if you don't know, you can just say you don't know either. Like this ain't the roasting session where you're on the hot seat and everybody's expected to shout out and answer. If you don't know, we just don't know. But this is kind of where that literal translation between the Hebrew and the English kind of gets flipped a little bit. Because hand is Yah. But in this case, that idol, that's going to be that upon. So upon hand doesn't really make any goddamn sense. That shade upon hand. But this is kind of where it starts, to at least smooth out. And we went over ka at the end, making it a proposition, or turning that root word into a proposition. And I guess I can't remember what tense this would be in, like second person or something, or first, or just whatever their reaction point is. But you're talking about thy right, not your right. That would have been Shamar Yah. If I was talking about like my personal right hand, and I'll double check that too, but my personal if I were the keeper, if you were talking about, I'm the keeper, or I normally it's gonna be I am. That should be Shamar Yah. But we're talking about Ka. So that's gonna be somebody else. So thy or thy, so I keep on saying that right, because that's where we're going to next. Thy keeper. So Yum Yum Ka. Yum Yum is right. Ka at the end of that root word makes it possessive, In this form, that possessive is thy. So thy right.
So,
Slacking.
so okay, just a quick question.
Good.
So if I'm saying my right, I would say Shamar Yah.
Keeper would be Shamar. Yeah. Maybe I think I even got myself a little bit confused on that. So Yum Ya.
Yum Yah. So if I'm saying I am thy keeper, then it would be something along as far as I am, but in thy keeper, speaking of myself, would be Shamar Yah. I mean, as far as keeper, or would I still use Shamar Ka for in that kind of?
In that kind, in the way that that's being phrased, it would still stay like this.
Okay, kind of.
So it might be something like Anya Shamarka, I am thy keeper, because here we're saying the Lord is thy keeper. But if you're saying you just pretty much sub this part out, that should stay the same. But now if you're going to talk about how it's your right hand,
Kind of.
so then Tazalia, no, that is if you're talking to somebody else about still being like their shade, yeah, so that would still stay the same. Tazalka, that would stay the same. Upon hand, and then Yum Ya. For that, for my
See the change.
Yeah. And actually, if we're using this as the example, all that still would stay the same. Because really, we're talking about, all right, so the Lord's keeping, it's their shade, it's their protection. It's on their right hand. So, but if we were to switch in the context and delivery of this, if you're talking about your right for whatever reason, yeah, then that would take on a different form. Yum. Yeah, I guess this was a poor example to use to try to switch that up. But we get the idea. Again, it's nothing too crazy fancy about it. This Yum, right? Bun Yum, son of the right. Yum Ka, thy right. It's the Hebrew in itself it's a very basic language, very straightforward. In comparison to how these other languages kind of operate. Because again, we got whole concepts that can be delivered in very few characters. A letter, depending on how it's like a character, an individual character, can be describing something, a whole concept. And yeah. In the paleo, that was the pictograph, that was an image of your hand. Your open hand, like you was trying to grabbing something. So now you can take that concept and run all over the place. Let's make sure they got everything copied down. You got it copied down, true? All right, we'll get this part erased. It's like, I'm gonna turn this feed up. Y'all cold in here? Oh, you need to take a picture of that. Do you got a Lashawan Qadash alphabet? I left all my stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, again, studying the different names of the tribes. That can help you prepare you for other words and other vocabulary words. Because again, just in that example that I wasn't expecting, Benjamin, Banyam Young, and Yum Yum have something in common. So if you knew Benjamin prior to, because you studied the names of the tribes, that would have stood out to you. So now when you're reading the prayers, or when you're reading the Torah for the Sabbath service, speaking of Sabbath service tomorrow is going to be started later. Everybody's going to Chicago. I'm going to be on the plantation, but I don't get off until a little bit in the afternoon, early afternoon. So get ready for Sabbath service to start like around probably 4 or 5 o'clock. It's a lot to the Metabumi, but yeah, we're kind of in a pinch there. There it goes. Verse 6. That's what I wanted to do. Just too small. Yeah, it should be all right. Still ugly. That is still ugly, but we are going to move on. Because sometimes you just gotta let go. You gotta let it go. You gotta move on. That's it. That. Let go. All right. We got Yahweh Mama. Yahweh Mama. Hashkamash. La'a Ikak. Wayarak. Balak. Again, this is where the whole thing is messed up. This is how it gets presented in the Hebrew. But if you're going to the blue letter Bible, they switch the whole order of operation around. So if you wanted to read this just straight through in English, because of the way it's translated, it would read, "The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night." But the way that you got to make sense of that in English to the Hebrew would get pronounced Hashemash, Yikaka, La'a, Yikaka, Yawamam, Wayarak, Walayala. So some of that gets, like this front part, this kind of got swapped. This part stayed the same. So Yawamam, by day. The sun, Hashemash. If anybody remembers, and for South Dakota, I guess I wouldn't put too much pressure on y'all for this. Was previous classes about prepositions and possessives. Just break this word down. What would be what here? La'azna. Smite thee. Yikah. Shall not smite thee, I should say. Because again, sometimes you need those English words to fill in. But la'ah is for not by itself. Nor the moon, by night. So we'll go over some of the root words for these guys. I should have done the last verse also. But like Layal is going to be for night. Yarak would be for the moon. Smite is going to be Nakat. left one. Okay. That's going to be for smite. The Mosh for sun. Your one is dead. My fault, the whole thing. Yeah, my mom. Dead. Now again, using that blue letter Bible, you can they'll give you the root words in here. So you can kind of gut that yourself at home. And that'll help see how some of these prepositions and possessives stick out. Bottom left words. South Dakota, are y'all in Central Time? If y'all are in Central Time, they're an hour behind us. All right, so yeah, so 3 p.m. by you. And then the bottom left word below the Assyrian, we can't see. So now, last time this was the right side. Saying this is the bottom left over here. Below the Assyrian, Nakah. Na, Ka. Nakah. If that's what you're looking for. On the other side. All right, so now it's my left. Y'all playing games. Why you rock? So the why, the ya, the rock, and the ha. Why you rock? When that ha is attached to another character, that again the vowel sound that we discussed before, the vowel sound drops off and just left the consonantal value of it. So it kind of sounds more like a regular K, why you rock. But if you practice it, you'll still see yourself giving it that sound. Why you rock? Why you rock? Why you rock? So the why, the ya, and the rock and sa are connected. And then nor the moon. So now you might almost expect to see a la in there, but the wa being and. I don't even know if that'd be the right way to explain it. Because of how they kind of flip it though. I can't even justify that. Because again, they start off with the sun. by day shall not smite thee, nor the moon by night. So I mean, this at least has the advantages of having a preposition. I couldn't say that's possessive because it's not, even it's not indicating, ownership of anything here. But at least that by would kind of cover the concept of by. But again, you don't see that up here. Because a lot of times, again, we're just talking about some like filler words. This is just for dad. Your mom is just for dad. This one, ha and the. So the son. And the way they put this around, the way English has to be ratified in the Hebrew, it gets a little funky, but just to make sense of it, you got to flip it around a little. And you just got to understand that some of these are just going to be kind of fillers. That there's never going to be a real straight translation to them. They just, in English, you got to fill in the gaps to make it make sense from that culture. In our culture, this would have been a sensible, conversation, a sensible sentence. Just the way that we deliver. All right, nakah. So that's just the root word for smite. Nakah. So if you were to look that up again, and we're in, verse 6 in the Blue Letter Bible. So if you were to just look at that word, the Strong's Concordance H5221, nakah. And this is just the word that they chose to use because of the vernacular again at that time in 1611. Smite. We don't. It's not a very modern word. We don't use that one too often. What's the past tense of it? Smoked. Yeah, it's a little uncommon nowadays. A little old-fashioned. But what's a more common word for smite? Say that. Destroy. What's a more common word for smite? What's another one we might use? Kill. Attack. Slaughter, slay, conquer, subjugate, ravage. Dog walk. Just depending on how you're applying. Smite could be anything. Again, we're just looking at the King James Version words that was used in the English Bible, translating it to the Hebrew. So they might seem a little antiquated to us today, but we can, without having to distort the definitions of the context of anything, we can modernize it, on our own. La'ayakaka. Yeah. La'ayakaka. And then depending on how, you apply nakah, could be to receive that wound, to have been smitten. It would just take on, different form than that. I will erase this. And if you were to do this, if you were to look up again in the Blue Letter, Psalms 83, again, you're going to see just more and more examples of how the common prayers that we would recite, how that flows relatively smooth in English. Both languages got their own kind of groove to it. once you kind of just catch that rhythm in the delivery, that might help just in the way that you read in the Torah. Because in some of the books, like especially in like Exodus, we were reading some verses where it was very repetitious, like when they were building the tabernacle. The gold that they broke it down pretty detailed too. All the gold, the boards, the drapes, everything that was fashioned together, the way that it was fashioned together. They kind of repeated kind of each step a few times too in the verses. So you got used to kicking yourself and stumbling on the same words that you just read 3 seconds ago. We're in verse 7. That's not how you spell it. So you got your how. Y'all smart. I'm gonna call right. Y'all smart. The positive. So again, the Most High. Trying to remember in last week when we had Shamar. Just keep it slack here. So in this case, Shamar is taking on the form of preserve. So the Most High shall preserve thee from all rise evil. And he shall preserve thy soul. All right. So I think last week we had gone over this a little bit. We had this encounter with call for all. In this case, the preposition ma, from, evil, right? And it's like I guess I should expound more on cod here, just the way that it's being used, because I was talking about, you know, thee or thy, that depending on the utility of it, that could be talking about my thee or your thee. My thy or your thy. Just that's the preposition, it's not a word, is it? But for possession, that's just the form it takes. In these cases, thee, thy. I think we might see some. That's the. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This could be my thee, my thy, or your thee, or your thy. It could be talking about you. It could be talking about me. And because this is a prayer, you know, we're praying for the Most High to cover us. This one's a little funky. So in the positive soul, you know, thy soul. Opt is just kind of almost like a Hebrew filler word. What I've seen is no real. Let me double check in the lexicon. But it's just kind of. Because we use a tha for you. Just 1 second. See if they got it in the strong concordance here. All right, so this would make sense. So they're using it from H854, get it from H579. But they're saying used only as a preposition or adverb. Near, hence, generally with, by, at, among, etc. Against, among, before, by, for, from, in, and to. Often with another preposition prefixed. Because often itself takes on a couple different forms. But for these purposes, I guess that's kind of how it's being applied, but there's no you can see it's not matching up with anything in English here. So maybe just because we're going with the topic of soul here, there's a little bit more emphasis on. Was this? Somebody's by the water. Rounding the corner, almost done. But almost every other time that I've seen in the scriptures, and you try to look that up, try to correlate an English word, it's not really a substitute for it. But it does seem to be more of an emphasis onto a subject, though. And we're on verse 8. All right, Howell. Got Shamar. Got Oscar. Wabuaka. My thought. Well, I will alone. And in the Bible, you know, they say the Lord, that they're always saying that too. So shall preserve that going out. And thy coming in. And this time forth. And even forevermore. So this part is kind of covering the and even. Or it's like, I guess, and even for. Evermore. We got a brother in the school preaching Austin 5000 out alone in Chicago. So now his name, and I guess unless they actually named him by this measure, you know, I will alone covers a couple different things too, definitions, and well, we're about to look that up. H5769. Yeah, so like it could just be describing a long duration, how long, antiquity, futurity, forever, everlasting, perpetual, ancient, forever, always, continuous existence, eternity, indefinite. So I believe when they were describing the brother, ancient would have been the more direct translation for his name, just in that application, in that context. In this context, it's translated to evermore. And I guess they could have put, and even for a long duration, or even forever, even perpetually. But the way that they had decided to stylistically interpret it was with evermore. Everybody should be getting pretty comfortable with this by now. And we got Shamar pretty well kind of saturated and here preserved. See that? The Zalka, so going. So Yataza. So here. Yataza is going to be gone. So it's like, let me write it underneath it. Yataza for going. I guess more directly going out. It does cover that concept. Again, that concept of going out. To go forward, proceed with purpose or for result. Just that kind of intention behind it. To deliver, to be brought out or forth. So again, depending on the context, the application. But the first, just kind of direct after or before you get to mixing and matching how you want it to be explained. To go out, come out, exit, go forward. So again, you got that ka at the end. Taza'atka. So that going out. Babu Wa'aka. So Bawa'a is going to be your root word here. And I like it when these words kind of pop up because it gives you a more cleaner, I guess, kind of translation. So wa, ka, you got the preposition and the possessive all in one word. Bawa'a being your root word. Wa, bawa'a, ka. And I coming in. So bawa'a covering, coming in, returning. Yataza representing going out, exiting. But it's a very clean translation. So that's always comforting when you get breaks like this. Bawa'a coming in, I, ka, and wa. I like it when it works out. It makes my job a lot easier. And so from this time, so we get the, or it's like I thought, my thought. So this will be our preposition here. From, ma's from here. I thought, now this is interesting. They use it. They're saying now. I thought directly is going to be translated into now. So again, that concept of now, this isn't that far. This time, and talking about this moment, and that's not even literal as far as like when we're saying the prayer. In a certain context, that is kind of literal because you might be saying it for the first time. So now, for that first moment, you're wanting to be covered. In that moment, you're making that prayer. And you're asking the Lord for all this preservation, all this watching, all this protection, all this shade right now. But this was written thousands of years ago. We still say it today. We say this every week. Might say it every day. And that's not just excluded to that time that you're saying it to, like, when you're saying like right now, not just in this moment. Like when a good example I think of this concept is when they talk about your fringes and how you're supposed to wear them all of your days. And none of us technically, we ain't got no fringes on in this room right here right now. But we wear fringes all of our days. Because it's not a trending kind of option accessory. It's for our priestly garments. We hold offices. So on the high holy days or on the class day Sabbath services, things like that, Passover coming up here before, you're going to see tons of fringes all over. But you're not going to see brothers, and really you shouldn't either. You shouldn't see them going to work wearing their fringes. And it doesn't matter what kind of job you do. I'm not saying like just for brother that might be on a garbage can or a custodian might be having a dirty job, cleaning out inside the tankers or something like that. Maybe he's just got a special pair of work fringes. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You could be corporate America. You shouldn't put fringes on the bottom of your sports coat. On the bottom of your slacks, your business shirt, your tie. Let's not get ridiculous here, but just the concept of now. To kind of start now and continue forward for this time, for this day and age, this era, this generation. Just again, depending on the application of it, but you could be meaning that, just right now in this moment. But, from this time and even forevermore. So we got Psalms 121 here, 8 verses. Psalms 83 has 18. We'll get into that one coming up next, I believe. Any questions, comments, or concerns on this? Before we erase. Good, take good and something. Go select, take a picture. Ask South Dakota if they got, or I guess South Dakota can hear me. I'm just asking myself. If they got the vocabulary list that I sent, if those were some of the documents in the email that were able to come through. If not, what did actually work? Let me try to print them all. It'd be nice to start getting some vocabulary words too. And then at home, if there's any phrases, any words that you might want to try to know how to say in Hebrew that you just might not be covering you know, in the moment or during the prayers during class. We might not have heard it yet in the Bible. Maybe it's a modern word that we use now that, because again, in the King James 1611, that like the BLB and that the Strong's Concordance is translating off of, that's the vernacular, the vocabulary that they were using back then. Some of those words, again, are kind of outdated. We don't really use certain things like that anymore. So there are normally going to be modern substitutions for them. Some of them may have just, you know, fallen to the back burner. But there's if there's anything that you're not hearing us covering in the scriptures, you know, we're right now in the Sabbath service, we're in Leviticus. We still got a long way to go. So there's a lot of other little hidden gems in there that we just might not have uncovered. But if there's anything that y'all want to know at home or in class, of course, that I don't know, maybe you want to tell your parents you love them or something like that. Or, you want to make fun of your little brother or sister in Hebrew. You know, we can have fun with this also. You know, this is our culture, but we're going to start getting into vocabulary words too, and sentences, and how to approach certain phrases. Like you good?
So like South Dakota said, is just the same list of things that they couldn't access. They said to do their homework, they used the blue letter Bible.
All right, good. Speaking of homework, bring yours up.
It's all over in order, should be about 3 pages each.
Okay, that's all right. All right, to the brother, young man. Oh, I go work. You look very comfortable with the paleo. You're very comfortable with the paleo. The Assyrian looks a little shaky, but everything's legible. Like I'm not having a hard time looking at anything. Just like your line width on some of them, you know what I mean? It's like you're doubling and tripling up on it. I don't know if you're just trying to match kind of how it looks on the board. You know, if you were to look at, we need to get a pointer. We're just going to use this one. If you're looking down here, you know, these two are the same. The Assyrian, both the Assyrian. This is written with like a calligraphic tip, or a nib, as they call it. Like a chisel tip. If you were to get like a chisel tip marker, even the markers that we use here, you know, it's kind of got a longer side than the other. And that's what gives you the different line width. Unless you're using this kind of pen, I wouldn't expect you to just, when you're writing by hand with a regular ballpoint, to try to make the line thicknesses different. The same way that you didn't do that with the Paleo Hebrew, that's not necessary for the Assyrian. But again, it's legible. I can read everything on it. All right, the salutes for the brothers and sisters. Hey, very comfortable with the paleo. After your man OB. All right, good work. Again, very legible. You got the paleo and the Assyrian here. Good work, good work. The only critique I would say with how a lot of people are doing this, and there's really nothing wrong with it. And actually, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there. For me, that would just be kind of a personal preference. And my personal preference here does not matter at all. Everybody's in the ballpark. Like I keep on saying time and time again, all the penmanship's gonna be different. I'm not gonna hold anybody to write the way that I do. It's the way that you write yours, just like it's gonna be kind of your pronunciation, your accent in the pronunciation. We all want to pronounce the same words the same way so that we make sense when we're talking to each other. But whatever accent that might give you a little add to your uniqueness and individuality, I mean, run with it. So same thing with the penmanship. I ain't knocking nobody's handwriting here. Just I had a little moment there of just my personal preference. So Salaki, everything looking good, looking clean, consistent. And it looks like young man OB looks like he might be kind of doing the same thing a little bit with the Assyrian, trying to make the line weights, different or to match up what you see on the paper. I just wouldn't want anybody to get hung up on that part. That's not important. Unless you're using a calligraphy, type pen that has those capabilities and you want to start getting good with it, that's just the style that you're going to write with, I wouldn't worry about that if you're just using a ballpoint. All right, so the prayers, got the Assyrian and the paleo. And going from the right to the left. All right, it's looking good, brother. Who's this, keto? Keto, like the way you write this reminds me of the Lost Lunar Stone, man. You got ancient handwriting, brother. Yeah, ancient handwriting. And then you got musical handwriting. Your shot, it kind of looks like I don't know what the hell it's called in music, but all right, so for keto, you're lives. You're lives. Some of them are looking. Some of them, the main one that kind of sticks out. That's one of your lives. The other ones are kind of going. Well, yeah, they're still all kind of going like that. Let's practice this. Just simplify it a little bit more. You're in the right direction. You just got to kind of skip this part right here. You got to take that extra little leg out. I think it was in the Dead Sea Scrolls, one variation that I've seen of from the scribe. It might have been something more like Shalom, but they went way high with the lie. And that's just, again, how that brother decided to write it. Nothing wrong with it. He was the scribe. It's his scroll. That was on his cowhide or something. It's, let the man do what he wants to do. But that one right there is looking a little lost in translation. And then let's try to step away from. So if you want to do this for Shah, I'm not going to argue with you on that. I know what you're going for, but let's lose these. So for the young man Keto, those are the only two things that I was, well, you got him on a couple characters. You got him on the Ah and the Shah. You kind of had that the other way, but let's lose the music notes at the ends of these.
It's like a young man Keto said, kind of coming.
My brother. A while. Everything else is looking dark, is looking real sharp though. So that was the salute for the males, salute for the females. All right, looking good. One thing that I see, and again, this is for Brother Keto, when we were doing so the Lord's Prayer here, at the very end, like you're doing like the music notes on like the all of the ends on a lot of people. That wasn't the part that I was going to comment on, but again, just kind of moving away from that, just because there are dialects out there. I think it's either Korean or Thai. I believe it's an Asian dialect where they actually have like those little nodes at the end of some of their characters or letters. So I don't want us to get confused with that. But there's one part. Couple parts actually. Well, let's just double check it. All right, so at the end of I think we got to work a little bit on lining up. Yeah, so maybe you're spacing a little bit. Just because on this last one, this is coming out a little rougher to read it clearly line by line. Part in verse 4. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. All right, so he that keepeth thee at the end of verse 4. He that keepeth. The word for keepeth here is shawamar. And I'm only saying this just because of the height difference in one of the characters at the end. It looks like it could have been a cup. So what should be just a rock at the end that lines up same height with the rest of the characters. Yours extends down a little bit farther. Things like this we want to watch out for because that changes the entire word. Now it's shawamaka or shawama. And it kind of has that sharp corner on there that I would normally associate with the cop. The ra, it should be a little bit smoother at that corner here. So just on paper, it's kind of got a sharp corner at the end there. And even with the wa, I'm seeing from a couple people, like you're giving it that kind of, that same kind of leg. That the da has, that the ra has, that the ka has. The y is a little bit more subtle. Not a little too subtle. Not that subtle, a little bit more formal, but it's even lazy. It's not going to have that sharp corner. It's I guess the moral of the story. That da could, that ka could, but the ra and the wa, no. Everything else is looking good, consistent, sharp, digging. For the sister, Shanae. All right, so for the sister, Shanae, a couple items that are kind of sticking out. The paleo looks good. Consistent, smooth, clean. Sometimes it looks like the yas are getting a little short, which just isn't necessary. Pretty much for all of the Paleo Hebrew characters, they're all going to be about the same size. They're all going to be like fit pretty much in the same dimensions. If you got a 4x4 box, they're all going to fit in that 4x4 box. Nothing's really going to fall out of place. They don't really have any height discrepancies or width discrepancies like the Assyrian does. Because the Assyrian, and we'll go back to the source. The Assyrian, once you get to the Y, like the Sa, for example, and again, in the bottom, we said hammer. But if you look up here, that's a much thinner profile than your Ha, Da, Ga, Ba, and Ah. That Ya, it's going to be just an apostrophe pretty much. That Na, It's sitting in a thinner profile. If the rest of these are 4x4s, you know, that Y, that's like a 2x2. Or, well, 2x4. It's a lot. That is I. That's kind of like a 2x4 also. That Ya, that a 1x4. But just like the, you know, the space that it might take up. That's just like a 1x1 cube though. That would sit in. But like the rest of these, you know, pretty much uniform across the board, save Y, Da, Ya, and Na. Those are the only ones that would take, you know, kind of a thinner stance, even the guy, I guess, yeah. Kind of a thinner stance than the rest of the characters. And you'll see those differences in the Torah, in the Tanakh. But in the Paleo, what I'm seeing with the Ya is it's kind of scrunched up. Not all the time. Not all the time, but there's a couple times where it looks might have a couple times you got it like this. And that's a bit exaggerated, I'll say, but and again, it's not happening with all of them, but there's a few examples where it's looking smushed. And then in the Assyrian, the only thing that I would say, all right, so the Ma and the La, we tend to use those in the same. You gave me those. I kind of knew what that was when I initially saw it. Less squiggly line. Less squiggly. And maybe it's just hand control, but it does need to be a little bit more distinct. It's a little bit too loose of an interpretation for this. I see what you meant. That's not far from each other. That I can see how we got from here to here. But let's try to give it more of that distinct body shape versus just the squiggly line. And then the Ma, the end of your shalams, you got the Ma tiny also. Okay, why is it kind of looking like that? All of them. And the shalom by Hashem, you got them all smushed. Now, again, maybe that's kind of how it looks up from the board, but this is going to be the same size as everything else. So those will be the only things to work on. The La, and let's bring that Ma up to the same kind of dimension standard as everything else here. But again, consistent, clean. The nod is kind of doing the same thing. So, all right, so your love's here. The love's here looking a little bit different. So sometimes that's just maybe you just need a day or fresh piece of paper and then things can change. Oh yeah, so this was a different days of sun. So your lives here are looking a little bit more uniform to our board than not. And again, I see where we're going with this. I don't want anybody to get too attached to some of the details that they may see on the board here, because when you go into the Torah, you're not going to get some of those same elements. So you might identify them a little bit different from what's in the scriptures to what we have here to, again, what you see on the keyboard on your phone. There are kind of different variations of the Hebrew depending on what source it's coming from. The basic outline and skeletal frame of all the characters are going to be the same, but the line types might change. Again, on the keyboard on my phone, I is this. You know what that is when you look at this compared to the rest of the characters, but it certainly doesn't look like that guy there. You know, this one's got a little bit of flavor. It's got, you know, a little kink in the leg. It's got curves. It's got volume. So nobody's really doing anything wrong by trying to stay true to what they're seeing up here. But just some things to look forward to when, you know, compare our Lashawan Qadash chart to the Blue Letter Bible, to the text that's to the script that they have there, and I think you'll start seeing what I'm getting at with the similarities, but the kind of subtle differences. But the knock here, the knock for Sister Shanae. A little too much of that. It might have, you know, kind of a little bend in the middle. But for the most part, like it ain't gonna have, you know, some crazy squiggly line in the middle like that. And again, that's an exaggeration too. It's not that crazy, but let's try to straighten that out a little bit more, make that it's not as dominant. Because it's kind of making that like the outstanding aspect or feature characteristic within that form, which it just really isn't. So less emphasis on that little bend in the nod. Because it almost looks like a 3 in a couple of these. It almost looks like the letter 3. The letter 3. When we get to that stage, I'll let you know the number 3 for now, though. Just we'll focus on letters and numbers separately until further notice. All right, yes, just those couple issues. Let's work on maintaining the uniform dimensions. And then just the la, the na, the ma in the Assyrian. And then just the ya in the Paleo. Stepping those up. Excellent work from South Dakota. Clap it up for South Dakota. We got Lord Allah, we got plenty of time to make sense of this and to get comfortable with it. All right, Trooper, see your work. The water. I can't hear you. Mm-hmm.
Every place that I went, but I think I tried my best.
Every place that you went, where'd you go?
Every word I belonged to. My YouTube video, talking on the lost class.
I'm gonna find a way to check you for that. Gotta process that a little bit because I don't know if that's gonna be an adequate reason why you couldn't use anybody else's. And then on the TV, y'all ain't got Fire Stick or a Roku Smart TV with YouTube on there?
No, we have a TV. For us, so it's time to sleep. Try to use that sheet for everybody.
Is this the one that you just kind of touched up today? It's a little hard to follow how, and then maybe it's my fault. If you were just copying what I did off the board too, then I gotta take some of that blame. But it's a little hard to follow. I think just with the spacing is what I'm looking. And then just when you got too many, I guess, kind of mistakes like this, you try to squiggle them out. I would almost take out that whole thing and then start a fresh line. That does kind of get in the way a little bit. What's all this? Trees. Nothing wrong with eating and doing homework at the same time. Oh yeah, everything else is looking pretty good, looking more comfortable with it. Bit of a difference between here and up here.
I messed up on the first part.
Hey, you and me both, brother. You and me both. I think we just got to work on, I think maybe your penmanship in general, just some of your lines are a little choppy. But everything's clear. I can tell what everything is. I would kind of say the same thing about the lies here too. Some of them are.
My head. Right.
I get it. I get it. So listen, come up here and write this whole thing out for an hour. I mean, I can definitely see how the hand will be shaky. So now again, the scripted lie versus your handwritten. Versus, and again, maybe from what you're seeing me do up here too, maybe I can chill out. And again, I see where we're going. No mistaken. I'm not mistaking this for any of the other characters, except for maybe Sinead's not. You know, this part kind of has more of an emphasis than the rest of the line. And it's not pictographic, so there's no real meaning behind why there's that distinction. But I would want you to work more on giving that a little bit more shape. Because if it's this subtle, it kind of collapses on itself.
For the other homework, not due to the points.
In the morning, always going to be here in the morning. And then you're hooked to it on the shot. But let's try to get away from this. It's not as much hooked over like that. Yeah, Sabbath service won't be until later on in the afternoon Saturday. So you can hold it until then and just hold it till next week.
The only reason that I wrote it like that, the shot, because I thought that's how that was.
The handwritten or the print? Yeah, I'm not making that connection, but you know that's up to the individual. Yeah, some of your things, some of your handwriting kind of junk. You just smooth out. Otherwise, other than that, everything's looking good. Again, it's recognizable. I can read it. It's just a little choppy. All right. So with that, Monday. Who's coming through on Monday? Who is? All right, so like we got Lacom. We got Peace Off the 1,000 Lacom hosting the next episode in the Matthew breakdown. We're at 17. All right, so we got Matthew 17 on Monday. We got Sabbath service tomorrow afternoon. Just keep a lookout. Look out for it. Should be about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So 3 p.m. by y'all. April 4th in Houston, December 14th, we're gonna have the Feast of Dedication of Hanukkah. It's an 8-day celebration. We don't give gifts to each other. This ain't the Jewish Christmas. We eat. We gather together. We eat. We go over our culture and our history. You're going to find this in the Apocrypha in 2nd Maccabees. You're also going to see it in the New Testament where Yahweh observed the Feast of Dedication. Yeah, he specifically went out to observe the Feast of Dedication. What else we got coming up? And then April 4th in Houston, Texas, it's going to be Lord's 57th annual Passover. And actually, it's like before that, too, we also have Purim. We have Purim coming up, I believe, in March, right before Passover. So we got the Feast of Dedication, Purim, and Passover coming up. Pay your tithes, Isupk.com. And get in contact with the school near you. With that, we will salute y'all. Our shalom. Y'all about to me to the brothers. Y'all tomorrow, about to me to the sisters. Shalom.
Y'all ain't ready yet, man. Here it come right now. Prepare yourself. Here comes the boom. Here come the boom. Look who just stepped in the room. Got soldiers in every direction. As long as they stepping in tune. I been all black with the groom. Watching Babylon fall to doom. Lord know I'm ready and I know that you know that her love is deadly, but I am immune. These niggas talking rude to whom? That at your spot, you'll be moving soon, and you'll be leaving shortly. Still walking with them angels, yeah, they still enforcement. Got a whole lot of zeal, I can't get it off me. Plus I'm winning like I got a blue ribbon on me. He ain't want what, bitch, I beg your pardon. See, I knew these niggas like to do that pillow talking, so that's why I bought a Glock to the slumber party. Got it out the dust. I just been getting to it pretty much. That brotherhood of weapon, gotta keep it in the club. If it ain't one West nigga, I don't wanna hear it, keep the tone down. Had a couple complications, but it's on now. So you can kill it, speculation, bitch, I'm thrown down. And if you want a conversation, set his zone down. What he say, I ain't hear him, I done zoned down. Can't walk, this a low mouth. I'm 44, I'm on another level with it. These niggas never listen, so I let the devil get his ass. I try to tell him, I'm a rebel nigga. Better be careful if you ever think I'm stepping in my path. Cause it ain't no game. Stay in your lane, now I'm playing twisted metal with his ass. Got it out the gut. I just been getting to it pretty much. That brother